Hey guys, I'm Sawyer from Terribly Handsome, which is a website that teaches men everything they need to know about beauty. Today I'm going to show you a skincare routine, one that I personally use, that will give you instantly clearer skin and even out any of those rough spots that might be caused by blemishes or pigmentation or any post-acne redness. And the products that I'm going to use today and show you, when you do them right, no one should be able to tell that you're wearing anything. They'll just think that the skin that they see is your natural skin. So stay tuned, I'll show you how. All of the products that I'm using today, there are six in total, can be bought at a good supermarket or like a CVS, and most of them, if not all of them, are under $15. So if you can't find the exact one that I mentioned in the video, I'll link to them. You can still find a similar one at a CVS. And the last thing I'll say before we get into it, if you like this video, please subscribe and please give me a thumbs up. First things first, start with a clean, dry face. I use the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. Bought this at CVS. It's very gentle, as the name implies, face wash that really anyone can use no matter what type of skin you have. Face is clean. Next product I'm going to use is another product. It's just a simple face lotion, CVS brand again. There's a very similar one like this there's a Cetaphil one similar to this, but this one's like half the price. So I use this one. It's the moisturizing facial lotion. It's the nighttime version, so it doesn't have an SPF in it. But if you do want an SPF, just get the day version. This isn't completely necessary because we were about to put on a primer after this. But I use this face lotion in some areas around my eyes where I get smile lines, and on my forehead as well, which just sort of adds a bit more moisturizing content to the face. So I'm just going to start with a very tiny amount and just put it in these specific areas. All right, you want to make sure that's pretty well absorbed and fairly dry before you move on to the next step. Okay, next step. The next thing we're going to use is a pretty important product. It's a face primer, and this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. And what this does is it acts very similar to a face moisturizer, but it has some silicones in it which lend a blurring effect to pores, maybe around the nose or under the eyes, and also to any fine lines or wrinkles you have on your face. So apply this just as you would a face moisturizer, probably a very similar amount. It also really leaves a very smooth and powdery feeling on your face as well, and it will reduce, if you have an oily skin, it will reduce the appearance of any sort of oily buildup throughout the day. So really great product. Tons of different versions, tons of different brands out there for face primer, but this is a relatively cheap one. It's a good brand, and yeah, I recommend it. So small amount, look like a dime size amount there, and just apply it like we did our face lotion, but apply this all over. And if you want, you can use a little bit more on the problem areas, like around your nose, because this will, like I said, smooth out the appearance of fine lines and pores and give like a subtle blurring effect. It'll also set a good base for the next product, or the product in 2 products from now, which is a concealer, which is optional. It will give it a really nice base to go down on. All right, this next product is optional, but it's a cool product if you've got particularly problematic areas. This is a blur stick. So it's similar, this is called the Maybelline Master Blur Stick. It's a pore minimizing primer, just like the e.l.f. product, but it's a bit more substantial. So it's sort of like a bit heavier duty. And what this is like a, sort of like a chapstick. You can apply this like anywhere you have, you know, larger pores, like around the nose, under the eye area, the cheekbone, and to the forehead as well, if you get oily buildup during the day. So this will just go a bit further. So I'll just do that on the forehead. And then I'll just do a little swipe under the eyes. All right, and then I'm gonna just use a beauty blender here. Again, get this in any drugstore and just dab it and sort of blend it in. Better, I guess. All right, so we've now got the face moisturizer, the primer, and then the blurring stick on. And our next product we're going to use is the concealer. So if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm a huge fan of concealer. This product isn't essential, but it's probably one of the more powerful tools in this toolkit for covering blemishes and any pigmentation on the face. So what I use it for is I use it for dark circles under my eyes. You can't really see them very much right now, but they're there. And I also have a bit of pigmentation right here and right here, which I use it for as well. So yeah, one of my favorite products, this is a Maybelline Fit Me concealer. It's shade 30. And I'm quite tan. It's actually shade 35. I'm quite tan right now, so this is really the darkest I would ever go. When I'm less tan, I would probably use about shade 20. But test them out at the store, see which one blends into your skin best. It needs to look really natural, as close to your skin tone as possible. So what we're gonna do here is, it's really simple to use. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on the applicator, and I'll use the mirror for this. I just put like a dab there. So like that. And then do the same thing. I need a little bit more. Do the same thing on the other side. And I hope I bought this last night, so I hope it's not too dark for me. We'll see. Previously I was using shade 20, so this is definitely a step up. I just got back from Costa Rica, so I'm like as tan as I've ever been in my life right now, which isn't super tan, to be honest. All right, so now we're gonna use a beauty blender to just blend this in using a tapping motion. You can't really mess this up. It's a pretty easy product to use. The only thing is that it needs to just match your skin tone as close as possible. Once you ensure that's the case, it's pretty easy to use. And look, this is a little bit dark, I'm gonna be honest. Excuse me. Someone's texting me. All right, so that's actually pretty good. It might be slightly on the dark side. But yeah, find the shade that works well for you and go for it. And you can use this anywhere on your face. Under eyes, specifically on a zit, or like any post-acne redness that you've had, anywhere. All right, so we're almost done. This last product that I'm gonna show you is important if you use the concealer. If you don't use the concealer, I'd say you can skip it. But this last product is a setting powder. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna sit on top of the concealer that we just applied and make sure it doesn't rub off throughout the day, or yeah, it just helps it last longer. And this is a powder here. There are some simpler ways to apply it. They have setting sprays, which you just spray on your face. Again, you can get that at CVS. I have the powder. I'll probably switch to the spray before too long, just because this is a bit high maintenance here. But whichever one you use, I recommend it if you do use the concealer. If you don't use the concealer, you can skip it. So what we do is you just take the setting powder, I dump it upside down so you can get a little bit on the applicator, and then you take a brush like that, and you get a little bit on the end of a brush. You can tap it off a little bit, and then you just gently apply it where you put the concealer. Then when I'm done, I just shake the brush off, like tap it to get everything, all the excess off, and then I just go over it again like that, just to make sure there isn't any setting powder residue hanging around. All right, so I'm throwing a little additional segment into this video because earlier today when I was filming the other part, I thought about showing you the setting powder that I used, and I thought that it was a bit too fussy for anyone who is a beginner or just getting into these products. So I actually went to Target and I bought the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set, and it's a setting spray, and it does the exact same thing as a setting powder. It's just a bit easier to use. So I would probably recommend this over the powder I showed you. Super easy to apply. Just you spray it on your face after you apply the concealer, and that's it. Guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you've liked the video, like I said, please subscribe below. And if you've got any questions about anything I showed you today, or like if I missed out on anything and something was confusing, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram and I would be happy to answer any questions, or leave something in the comment below. Thanks so much. Have a great day.